All right, so next one under Dawson, the subject is Jericho's power. Hey K100 crew, I'm listening to the new Talk of Jericho episode, and Jericho's guest is a guy who's written and directed a musical play adaptation of The Shining, which honestly sounds awesome. Check that episode out. And in it, Jericho, and Mark Campbell, that's the guy's name, is talking about the importance of storytelling and how in plays you need stuff to happen in Act 1 so to make sure the audience wants to hang around for Act 2. It's great to know that Jericho's aware of this, so why isn't it happening in AEW? I mean, clearly AEW is Tony Khan's company, and he's the boss, and nothing's going to change that anytime soon, but it's possible that not even Chris Jericho has the power backstage in AEW and to have some influence on the storytelling or lack thereof in AEW. P.S. Conan, did you know that Billy Body is claiming that it's your fault he got seats for AEW? He claims that you used your connections to get him stuck up in the nosebleeds. He's a moron. I don't know if that.
I don't know.
What show
I don't
is
know
he
if
talking
that's.
about? That's not. I think that's not. It can't be a true story.
I don't know if that's true, but it's funny. It is true.
Yeah, you're claiming that you use your connection getting stuck in the nosebleeds.
Yes. It's funny, man.
I doubt he would even say. He even report. Did he say that? I thought
I
he
don't
got
know.
good.
I know that he said he went to AEW. I think he
Well,
said it
that
was
was. Is he talking about this show or the he was at the Wembley show?
No, he's talking about the one in Vegas.
Oh, is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Unless he meant Wembley, I don't know, because Conan did get him the seats in Vegas, so that would make sense in the story.
Next is from Kevin Murray.
Well, hang on with the what was the guy? Why isn't the storytelling in AEW better if Jericho's aware of how to structure a story? Is basically
listen to our review. Listen to our weekly review, dude. I'm not going to go into that. We talk about every week in the show.
And B, I think Conan would. I think you've said it that Chris, he can't control everything, but he does mostly control the stuff that he's working on and he's involved in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Chris is always in long-term storylines.
Everything. Yeah.
Next is from our boy Jared Aviat. He's back in the mailbag. I thought he gets his suspension over.
Oh, he asked me if I would just push it through since he explains it.
Subject is Disco's Singapore-esque totalitarian regime and maximum male models. Greetings, K100 fam. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm calling out Disco and his fake news and mentioned me in a previous mailbag where Anthony Hunt was begging for forgiveness and my name came up. Don't worry, Anthony. Conan is gracious and will accept, but you ain't going to get any discounts at the Shake Shack, a.k.a. Rocky. Disco's establishment by begging for forgiveness like that. Yeah, I get it.
He gets a chance, and then he just...
Well, he's going to be suspended for 3 weeks, okay? Anyway, I just want to ask about the male models. I am upset that they've been taken off TV. Sure, Maxxine is hotter than a spicy curry, and Gable Otis. I thought Mason Mansoir were really the stars out of all 5 of them when on camera. I thought they did the best they could with those pretty good goofy gimmick on paper. What do you think the future is for Massey and Mansoir? The models could have been fun, entertaining mid-card act, but instead they're off TV whilst we have Wonder Break, Katana, and Caden on TV regularly. Why does the crew think the guys seemingly have been removed for good, even though they almost stole almost every scene they were in? I don't know. Maybe they got heat. That always goes back to that. Maybe they got heat backstage for the way they act. You know, maybe they're not mature or something. Or I don't know. Because which is weird because the one kid got who's the tall one? Massey, right? And Monsoir's okay. Bro, the kid trained under Booker and he was a former NFL football player. So I'm just so I don't know. I don't know. Like that's an interesting question that I'd like to find that out. Why?
Yeah, they were especially funny at the end of their act, bro. They were doing some funny stuff.
Well,
and they worked their gimmick. Go ahead.
No, you can finish. I just have.
Well, I was just saying that they worked their gimmick in the ring pretty well. I thought they were entertaining television, but maybe they're too close to pretty deadly, and maybe they think that those guys
were there
more
first.
Polished. Yeah, I don't know.
It says that from Fightful, it says that they were going to be getting repackaged, but details regarding the direction remain scarce. Then it also says, Vince put them together under LA Knight as Max DuPri because he didn't see him as a wrestler, so he split, and then Maxxine DuPri was with him and she split, and it looks like Vince had a certain vision of them where he wanted them to be the models, but he didn't want them to act flamboyant. And then when Hunter took over creative, he changed their presentation. And it just seems like there's confusion between what they want them to do between the different, regimes and people with power.
They got a lot of tag teams there now too. Anyways, probably lost in a shuffle. They'd be if they're on TV right now, they'd probably just be jobbing. So maybe they decided, okay, we don't want to really job these guys out, so let's just keep them off TV. You know?
Maybe they'll put Maxxine back into the Retribution
Oh God,
persona. Remember that? That was something.
horrific.
I'd like to see Disco as the manager for Maxxine and Mansoor.
Yeah,
Disco.
why not?
Next is from Jesse Hernandez, which is wrestling in USA, Japan. Hello, everyone. My question is, why is it that when a wrestler messes up, or as they say here in the USA, botch, a move people here in the US hassle or verbally harass the wrestler? In Japan, when the same exact thing happens, the Japanese do the complete opposite and applaud and praise the wrestler by clapping for their efforts. I wish you treated wrestlers better instead of burying them for trying. Thanks, and that's from Diego. Bro, their culture is just different over there.
But also,
more
I
polite.
think
Japanese people are inherently more polite. You know, that's just the way they're raised. You know,
they're more polite, but and maybe this is my lack of knowledge on it. But the only clip I've seen from Japan with a botch that I can remember is Liger was wrestling Sasuke, and he goes to do a springboard, and he slips and falls. And when he falls, Liger claps for him, and the crowd joins in, like, "Whoa, way to go!" That's what it seemed like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe right about the culture.
Yeah, it's a cultural difference, 100%. You know, just like they look up to their elders in the United States. To them, elders are weak and meek.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it's a definitely cultural thing. You know, when you're talking to them, they bow. You know, a lot of times they don't even clap. They go, oh, like that.
Yeah,
You hear the whole stadium doing it. You know, 100%. It's cool to see.
Next is from RGX and somebody's ICP for Hall of Fame. Greetings, lads. Quick question. Recently seen Violent J, Insane Clown Posse doing the podcast rounds as well as managing the NWA. Do y'all think ICP deserves a Hall of Fame nod in the celebrity wing for their 25-plus year career in wrestling promoting? Sincerely, RGX from the A. I would say absolutely put them in. They're very famous. They always drew a crowd. And just for the simple fact that when they I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When they were debuting in WCW, they had a tag match, right? And bro, that was a monitor sellout. Okay, because I remember there were monitors like different parts of the area, but I know for a fact it was me, Eddie, Benoit, and maybe a couple other guys, and we're all at one of the monitors. Okay, we're all standing. We're watching the match. Okay, and bro, I would tell anybody go back and watch that match.
Mm-hmm.
For celebrity wrestlers, it was like, bro, when it was over, we all looked at each other, and Eddie Guerrero was like, Eddie, bro, Eddie Guerrero is a very stiff critic of people's work, right? Eddie looks like, goes, wasn't bad. So like everybody kind of wanted them to suck, but like they literally, like, all Benoit, they were watching, that was pretty good. So just the fact that they killed it on TV at a time when the ratings were huge, okay, in front of a locker room of people that busted each other incessantly, especially if you would screw up in the ring. When you come to the back, you'd get made fun of, right? Bro, they popped the locker room. So I'd
listen to this. Their first match on TV was, Shaggy, Violent J, and Vampiro versus Lash LaRue, Norman Smiley, and Prince Iakea. So that's not, Norman's in there, which is great, but Lash and Iakea were less experienced. So if ICP was able to go in and have a good match, with their lack of experience.
But I think ICP, I don't know if they had it before or after WCW. They already had like their own promotion because you could tell they'd been trained,
Yeah,
right.
Because I was surprised at some of the.
Sorry, they wrestled on Indie Summit. They also trained themselves like backyarders.
Yeah. Who's the skinny guy? Is that Violent J? Is that the skinny guy?
That's Shaggy.
Shaggy. He actually did a leg drop from the third and my neck because he landed wrong. But they respected the business. They were good guys. Plus, like the guy said, they've been in 20 plus years and Impact here, there, everywhere. And bro, and they've given a lot of guys, a lot of wrestlers paydays when they have their reunions.
What's that called, GI? What's the Juggalo?
The Gathering.
Did you never work there, Conan? At the Gathering?
Yeah, I've done a couple gatherings.
No, I know you did.
Disco's violated there too on the bridge. Yeah. If you can, if nothing on the bridge, Joe.
On the bridge.
Wait a minute.
Under the bridge.
See if you can get a hold of ICP and see if they want to come in here and talk about their starting the business and other. You've never had them on here, right? We had them for like a drop.
Yeah. There was a drop back in the day.
Right.
All right, so this is okay. This could be a fake email. It says
Right.
from Dan Garcia. Okay. Subject is thank you for really keeping 100 from one of the boys. I've been in the
Dan
wrestling
Garcia. Okay.
I've been in the wrestling business. Well, maybe this is Dan because Dan Garcia's only been in the wrestling business for a few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one says I've been in the wrestling business for a little over 10 years. I listen to you every day because you speak facts and call out things that need to be called out. You speak the minds of the boys that can't give their true opinion on things for the fear of future bookings. Today, the boys all walk on eggshells and cannot say no to anything. I'm a total outcast in the locker room because after the match, I'm thinking bottle service, clubbing girls, and not video games and comic books. Putting together a match nowadays is like pulling teeth because everyone wants to dive, flip, and do spot after spot. My question is for Conan and Disco. As a professional, how do you suggest saying no to things you feel are embarrassing, silly, or don't make sense to the outside bubble without sounding difficult to work with? The way I do it is like, hey, if somebody wants to give you something that's ridiculous, say, bro, I honestly, you always have to have another idea. Is the way you go through a match, right? So you always say it's like, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. Well, how about this? Okay, right? I don't think it's going to make you look good. How about this? That's how you get out of doing things that you don't want to do. It's like I don't think I can take that well, and I don't think you're going to look good doing this.
For instance, what would you? How would you approach it if you're wrestling Vampiro on Nitro and he's going over and he says, "I want to hit you with the nail in the coffin from the top rope to make a big, spectacular finish."
This is not a pay-per-view because we're not doing that. But that'd be like if you, yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. And if he complained, we'd go to the office and say that. I'd say, bro, I'm not going to do it. And then they would say no. Well, why would you do that? It's a very difficult that hurts. We're not trying to hurt the talent. And I would tell to this day. But back when I was doing indies, I didn't like the dives. I didn't like, even back 15 years ago, people were starting to do a lot of dives. And I would always say my character would move out of the way. So just say something, wouldn't do the dive because I say I'm gonna move out of the way.
Now
so,
this is like inside. I think people would want to hear it when you say base, Conan. I think non-wrestlers just think, oh well, that he just means stand there and catch, which you do. But I mean, how do you do it without hurting your shoulder or something like that when you got two heavy legs coming down at you or the guy's tailbone or whatever,
Yeah, you just got to learn that's something that you learn in wrestling school, how to break a fall, how to fall with the guy,
right?
And make sure you break his fall. And there's a certain way of standing, which I've shown on the show before, where you have one foot in front of the other one. And it's basically like this. You have one foot in front of the other one like this. So if the guy is too short, you just take 1 foot forward. And if it's too go long, you take 1 foot back. And you get him. A lot of times guys are stationary and they can't get to the guy fast enough and he drops or they go over his head.
Right.
So but when you're basing, you're not just standing there, you're twisting the guy, you're moving him, you're helping him.
So that you don't take the weight on your shoulder. Yeah. I got you.
The base is very very important. So I just wanted to add something to what Disco said. That is the best advice. Always have a solution or another idea, because if not, they're going to go back to your office and go, he doesn't want to do it. At least they can say, hey, I had a better idea and I like it and let's do it. And if somebody were to give me the nail the coffin from the top, I'd go, bro, I'm not going to risk injury and take that. And there have been times when they've asked me to do stuff and I go, bro, I don't feel comfortable and I don't think I'm going to be able to give you the results you want. But here's another idea. So just like Disco said.